Alright, what's up, guys? So, today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite TV shows of all time called Smallville. Now, Smallville is the story of Clark Kent before he becomes Superman. The show stars Tom Welling in the lead role. Tom Welling does an amazing job as Clark Kent. This show ran for 10 seasons and Tom Welling is very likable. I think he looks the part. He's 6'2", 6'3". He's tall, he's broad-shouldered, he's got the big blue eyes and the brown hair. He looks like Superman. He looks like Clark Kent, and I think he gave a good performance and he was very likable. I really liked Kristen Kreuk in this show. I feel like her and Tom Welling look good together on screen, and they had great chemistry. Kristen Kreuk as Lana Lang was perfect casting. Lana is an amazing aspect to this show, and I feel like her character is very likable, and her and Clark, really like each other. There's a lot of moments in the show where they aren't together, but finally when they do get together, it's like, yes, finally, but then something keeps happening. But I feel like Tom Welling and Kristen Kreuk as Clark Kent and Lana Lang were really good in the show. In season 4, we meet Jensen Ackles, who plays Clark's coach, Jason Teague. I feel like Jensen Ackles, he's a very charismatic, likable actor. So him coming up in season 4 and kind of taking Lana away, and we know Clark likes her, but it's like you're supposed to be kind of mad about that. But Jensen Ackles is so likable and so charismatic. You end up liking him too, So I feel like Jensen Ackles was a great addition to season 4. So yeah, and I really liked season 4 of Smallville because Clark's on the football team. He's finally playing football. He's enjoying life. So yeah, Allison Mack plays Chloe in this TV show. Allison Mack did a great job as Chloe Sullivan. She's very likable, and a lot of people thought she was gonna die in the show because she's not canon. People know of Clark and Lois and Lana, but Chloe was a fan favorite, and they kept her alive till the end. And I believe that Allison Mack did a great job as Chloe Sullivan, and she did a really good job. That's what I gotta say about her. She's likable, and I feel like the show works so well with her in it that she was a great addition to the show, to the storyline. Like, even though she's not in the comics and stuff, Chloe Sullivan's helps Clark a lot, and she's very loyal to him. She finds out about his secret and doesn't expose him. She's got his back. There's even a scene where she goes to save Clark, and then she gets trapped in like the North Pole or whatever. Clark saves her and asks her, how long have you known? And Chloe tells her, I've known for a year or two. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. Chloe's just the best friend that, Clark could have. John Schneider as Jonathan Kent does an amazing job. He is a terrific dad. I really liked his performance as Jonathan Kent in this film. Whenever Clark has an issue or something's wrong, Jonathan always has the best advice for him. John Schneider as Jonathan Kent is terrific. I think he's one of the best dads on TV you will ever see. John Schneider as Jonathan Kent is a amazing father, and John Schneider does a great job playing the role. Annette Otoole, who plays Martha Kent, Clark's mom, does a great job. She's very likable. She's very compassionate. She's very friendly towards all the cast members, and I really liked her playing Clark's mom. She actually felt like Clark's real mother. Watching Smallville, you actually feel like John Schneider, Annette Otoole, and Tom Welling are a real family. She feels like a real mother to Clark. He feels like a real father to Clark. So in terms of casting the mother and father of Smallville, they did a great job. Talk about one of the most standout actors on the show, Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. Michael, who plays Lex Luthor, does an amazing job. He stands out, even though he plays the villain. I feel like Michael Rosenbaum was very likable in the show, and the show was kind of different after he left. But Michael Rosenbaum did an amazing job as Lex Luthor, and I liked his performance. I really liked Laura Vanderveer as Supergirl in season 7. I feel like season 7 was I feel like season 1 to 5 of Smallville are the best. Season 1, 2, and 3 have him in high school, kind of introducing things. Season 4, senior year. Season 4 is a lot of fun. There's a lot that happens in season 4. And then season 5 has Clark going off to college and, his dad dying. I kind of like the way they did the Jonathan Kent, that scene in Smallville where Lionel threatens that, oh, if you don't, give us the land and tell us where the ship is, whatever, that I'm going to tell the government about Clark and they'll have him strapped to the table. And I love the way Jonathan Kent, who's played by John Schneider, is like, you will not threaten my family. And they get into this big fight inside the barn, and then Jonathan Kent dies of the heart attack. So I think it was a good take on the death of Jonathan Kent. I like that he was defending his family, from Lionel Luthor, and he died of the heart attack just like in the comics. And, Clark figures, with all the powers, all these things I can do, and I couldn't save him. So, yeah, and the funeral was pretty sad, when, it happened during the snow time. Lana and Lois and Chloe were there, but Jonathan Kent's that scene in Smallville was very sad. And there's a scene, I think, closer to the end where we see them watching the VHS tape of Jonathan Kent and little Clark, driving the little tractor or whatever. So his death was really sad, but, well done. I feel like Erica Durance steals every scene she's in. Erica Durance does a great job as Lois Lane, and I feel like the show really had a lot of energy when she showed up. She shows up in season 4, but I feel like, Erica Durance she's beautiful and charismatic and steals every scene that she's in. So I liked Erica Durance as Lois Lane. I thought she did a great job playing the role, and she's maybe one of the best Lois Lanes. Not the best, I liked the other interpretations of Lois Lane, but I mean, like, in terms of a TV show, I'd say Erica Durance is probably the best TV show Lois. John Glover does a good job as Lionel Luthor. He's very cool and rich. He's got that vibe, but he's also very evil, so I feel like he did a good job. I really liked the episode where Clark proposes to Lana. There's a scene where, he proposes to her in the ice fortress. It was beautifully done. We feel like, Clark and Lana are finally going to get married and be together, but things don't, spoiler, things don't, go that way. There's a scene where Lex is chasing her and the car crashes, and I remember that scene where Lana dies. My eyes got watery, like, watching that. Like, it was like, finally, like, Lana and Clark were going to get married and be together. And then, a truck crashes into her car and she dies. And Clark goes to Jor-El to, bring her back. Like, that scene was so sad. Like, Jonathan Kent's death scene, obviously, but Lana's, death scene, especially the background music and everything, it was so sad and so emotional. But, yeah, Clark did bring Lana back. But, yeah, I think that episode was a good episode, but, that scene was, really emotional. Yeah, that scene was very sad. Like, it made me emotional. I love the opening credits song to Smallville, Somebody Save Me, where, all their names are showing up and, you're getting flashes of the show. But I love the opening credits sequence to Smallville and that song, Somebody Save Me. It's epic. I feel like season 1 to 5 of Smallville is the best. And then, the show kind of starts to slow down a bit from season 6, 7, and then it picks up a little in season 8, picks up in season 9 and season 10. But I feel like after season 5, the show kind of struggled a bit. Not to say that it was bad, but it wasn't as good as season 1 to 5. Season 1 to 5 is perfect Smallville. Season 6, 7, and 8 slow it down a bit, and then it picks up closer to the midpoint of 8. Season 9 was good. Season 10, although I will say season 9 was really dark though. Season 10 kind of goes into Daily Planet. There's a little more fun. And then Tom Welling finally becomes Superman at the end of Smallville. It was nice to see Jonathan Kent, in a cameo appearance in the finale of season 10. And, he gives Clark the Superman costume. So I really like Smallville. I'd say my favorite season is probably season 5. I really like season 5. There's a lot of good episodes in there. So yeah, I love Smallville. I'm a big fan of the show. All the actors and actresses that they casted were amazing. But yeah, guys, I liked Smallville. If you are a fan of the show, let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen Smallville, I recommend you check it out. If you're a fan of Superman, you're gonna love Smallville. If you are not a fan of Superman, I think you should still watch Smallville. You know, there's some good romance moments in there. There's some action. You know, there's a lot to like about Smallville. The cast and the storyline are fantastic. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.